Before we begin this ranking, let's get my much needed beverage down the hatch from Luke's. I mean, Lorelai couldn't be luckier that Luke's diner was just on her doorstep. Hey guys, Ari Thomas here, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my top 5 Gilmore Girls characters from one of my uh, absolute favourite TV shows. And yeah, it is tricky to narrow it down to just 5 of my favourites, but I uh, of course, some Gilmore Girls characters, were downright hateable, while others were just extremely lovable, and those are really the best kind of shows. But each character had some relatability, and I mean, not only could mothers and daughters relate to this show, but it had universal relatability, uh, and and of course one of the greatest casts ever assembled for a TV production. And the cast today haven't aged a day. So without further ado, if you want to know my top 5 favourite Gilmore Girls characters, then just keep watching. At number 5, Luke Danes. Fuck Christopher, the worst father in TV history. Luke is Rory's true father, and Lorelai's a true sweetheart. The entire show beautifully builds to Lorelai and Luke's wedding, and when they finally tie the knot in the revival a year in the life, it's is beyond sweet, and Luke is the uh, he's like the best ally and friend that Lorelai and Rory could ever wish for, consistently treating them like family and inviting them into his diner no matter what time of day, and always being there for them when they need to vent. And even when his former girlfriend Rachel came back into town, she could see how Luke was head over heels for Lorelai, and she was like, "Don't wait too long to tell her." And even though Luke could have told her a lot sooner, we still love him. And Luke had tons of obstacles, particularly Max, Rory's teacher, who was wanting to marry Lorelai. Thankfully, that didn't happen. And of course, Christopher, Rory's shit dad, put a spanner in the works. But seeing Luke punch Christopher was one of the only good parts of season 7, I have to say. So yeah, and Luke's diner, the go-to diner in any TV show areas, and Scott Patterson, you a rock. Even if the show kind of lose Luke's daughter April in season 6, and uh, as a thing to postpone Lorelai and Luke, the marriage, I still thought his bond with the daughter he never knew he has was a rather endearing storyline. At number 4, Suki, and this this is Melissa McCarthy's finest hour, her best signature role. This was her glory days before she starred in a Slock, and Rory had Lane and Paris, while Lorelai, lucky her, had Suki. Suki is like Lorelai's most loyal friend, and like a sister to her, who stands by her through thick and thin at Lorelai's job, and even her personal life, her with Rory, and her love life. Plus, Suki encourages Laura and ships Lorelai and Luke, so she's team Lorelai and Luke too, so she gets bonus points for that. But Melissa McCarthy doesn't just make her all comedic. No, she's able to make Suki as well grounded and a serious character when she needs to be, and she does make for the greatest chef ever seen on TV, and without her, Lorelai's in and the dragonfly in could have never have worked. She is the key ingredient that made it work. Seeing her become a mother to uh, with Jackson to her son and daughter was also beautiful, so she could step into Lorelai's shoes as a mother. I know some wouldn't rate Suki as high as number four, but I really don't think she gets enough credit as a character on the show. At number three, Emily Gilmore, played by the legendary Kelly Bishop. Kelly's in her 70s now, and she still looks, miraculous as she did 25 years ago. Yes, it's hard to believe season one of Gilmore Girls is 25 years old this year. And Emily, why I saw her, I saw my own grandmother in her, even though my mum and my granny had a far closer and easier bonds than Lorelai and Emily. I love that Rory's grandparents were so heavily involved in her life, both Emily and Richard's. We rarely see that in TV. Grandparents that are such a crucial role in their grandchild's life, and get to see so much of their grandchild growing up. And Emily is like, well, Rory's a second mother, of course, not always seeing eye to eye with Lorelai and what's best for Rory, and Lorelai doing her best to keep her mother out of things, but Emily insists that she needs to be there. We have Emily and Richard to thank for paying for Rory's education, for her to go to both Chilton and Yale, and for the Friday night dinners. And Kelly Bishop's acting is just top class, award worthy TV acting every single time, especially in A Year in the Life, the revival after the loss of Richard, where we see Emily uh, completely grieving and a broken woman, and seeing her get her life back on track again. And yeah, Kelly Bishop completely and utterly sold it. Because while Lorelai and Emily may fight, that doesn't stop them from loving one another as mother and daughter. She still uh, cares when she finds out Lorelai broke her leg once, and cares for Lorelai uh, when when Rory is out with Dean. And her daughter even got to go to a spa in season two, which is my absolute favourite season two episode. So yeah, Emily, she is the perfect matriarch and queen of the Gilmore family. She also may have had a hard time talking with Richard's mother and Rory's great grandmother, but boy, did she still make the effort to be hospitable. At number two, it's a two-way tie between the show's two titular mother and daughter, Lorelai and Rory, played by the wonderful Lauren Graham and Alexis Blundell. Lorelai and Rory are the best mother and daughter in any TV show. They're what other competition is there? Lorelai, I very much saw my mum in her. She is, such a awesome mum, exactly as my mum was. Prioritizes her daughter above everything and loves her daughter more than everything, and doesn't want her daughter to have the rough childhood and upbringing that she is, at only having Rory when she was 16, because her childhood crush, Christopher, and Rory's father, completely did her and Rory dirty. And but Lorelai still made an awesome life for herself and her daughter in Stars Hollow, and got away from all her troubles. And she has some of the uh, funniest and wittiest quotes in all of TV. If eating cake is wrong, I don't want to be right. And Lauren Graham still remains one of the uh, uh, top actresses on TV. She would also go on to do Parenthood after Gilmore Girls. And even if Lorelai is not a saint, but it would be dull if she was. She was too generous to Christopher by letting Christopher come back into their lives and marrying him in the later seasons. But at least she broke up with Christopher and ended it, and did rightly pick Luke in the end. So I'm so thankful she made the right choice. And as for Rory, well, I am like the boy version of Rory in so many ways, and I would often, well, see myself in Rory's shoes, being raised by a terrific single mother, and a lot of people give well, Chil- Yale Rory a lot of flack, as they say the Chilton Rory from the earlier seasons is far more likable, which I can see that as. Yeah, Rory did make the mistake of stealing a yacht with Logan, but that was more Logan's fault than her, and dropping out of Yale and not speaking to Lorelai for 5 months. But again, she did redeem herself with a little encouragement from Jess, her best love interest. Yeah, I'm Team Jess. Screw Dean and Logan. And yes, Rory had the utmost pressure put upon her at Chilton with all the high standards and expectations, even getting hit by a deer when she was running late for her test. But through it all, she achieved so much, uh, and she made the best of friends in Lane in Stars Hollow, and Paris in her education. And let's not forget Madeline and Louise. And my number one favourite Gilmore Girls character, Paris Gella, played by the uh, uh, tremendous Liza Wheel. While initially Liza auditioned for the role of Rory, of course, uh, they casted Alexis as Rory, but made the character of Paris just for her, and the rest is history. I don't think I would have adored Gilmore Girls as much had Paris not been in it, because yes, she has the best character arc in the show. You know, going from Rory's uh, bully and rival at Chilton to her closest friend, and she turns out to be, well, such a big softie deep inside. She's just really uh, not had an easy personal life, with her parents at one another's throats and being raised by her Spanish nanny so much, and all the pressure put upon her shoulders to get into Harvard, as generations of Gellas have gotten into Harvard. So she is, of course, um, distraught when she doesn't get into Harvard, but she got somewhere even better, Yale, and got to be Rory's roommate. And I know some would say Lane is Rory's true best friend, but I think that Paris was the more interesting character and friend, because, well, we saw how Rory and Paris became friends, and plus Paris, plus Liza Wheel gives the uh, best performance in the entire show, without a doubt. Paris's rants leave such an impact and pack a punch. And I mean, I'm not going to Harvard. I have had sex, but I'm not going to Harvard. If you need some love, get a hooker. Her lines are just the just perfection. Paris, Marie, and Madeline and Louise made for such a lovely group of four friends that I wish Madeline and Louise were in the show a lot more. And I wish we'd see them again after season 4. Paris also gets the best episodes in each season, with well, in season 1 the concert one, in season 2 the sleepover, in season 3 the graduation finale, which gets me teary-eyed every time. And season 4, the Pete Gilmore Girls episode, the spring break one, where she kisses Rory. And season 5, the museum, where we see Rory, Paris, and Lane have punched together, and Paris gets ridiculously drunk. Season 6, Paris, sticking up for Rory and giving her Chinese food after Logan, upset her. And of course, season 7, when she interviews that girl. Even in the revival, where we find she's had marriage issues with Doyle, but has become a mother herself, and you can't help but be proud of her after all she's been through. So yeah, I'm proud to call Paris the best Gilmore Girls character. So they were my top five Gilmore Girls characters, and I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this top five. And what are your top five favorite characters from the show? I am so intrigued to find out your lists. Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and on Instagram, and I will see you next time. And I will review Elio and Megan too very soon. Please go and see them in cinemas. It's so sad to hear Elio. It is a box office disaster. Uh, uh, but I will do my best to give it my money. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.